My name's Tom Williams. I am an instructor faculty member at Butte College and the chair of the Ag and Environmental Sciences Department. I'm horrible with dates, but there's one day I won't forget. On Saturday, June 29th, my girlfriend Heather was at home doing some chores, and I had taken all of our kids and we were going to go over to Corning to work on our property. The kids decided that they were still hungry even though we had just fed them breakfast, so they conned me into stopping at the taco wagon on the Esplanade on the way to Corning. We got back in the car and immediately my phone rang, and it was 1:59 on June 29th. And I picked up the phone, I looked down, I could see it was Heather, and I was excited just like I normally was. I answered the way I normally do. "Hey, sweet boo, what's going on?" And she was just crying, not screaming, but crying. Hard crying, and I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I couldn't understand her. Then she said, "Paralyzed." I could make out paralyzed, and that's when I was like, "Whoa," and we took off. That's when the throttle got hit, and we made it there really quickly. And we go running through the door, and our dog was running laps around her, barking, and she was laying on the dining room floor. Immediately upon walking up to her, you could see a definite sign of a stroke. The whole right side of her face was just, and she was unable to speak. I instructed my son to immediately call 911, which he did. They finally got there, loaded her in the ambulance. We all took off. Ethan rode with her. We got to Enloe, and it was like I had suspected. Once we got up to the room, the doctor immediately comes out and says, "Looks like she has had a stroke." And I just assumed we were going to stay at Enloe. He goes, "No," he goes, this has got to go somewhere else. He goes, I go, "Where?" And he goes, "Well, it's either going to be in Redding or it's going to be in Sacramento." I go, "What's going to determine it?" He goes, "Whoever's got a table and a surgeon ready." So we got up to Redding. They life flighted her. She was already in the operation, and right after we got there, one of the surgery techs came out. He was kind of giving us an update, and he said, "I just got to witness some of the most amazing surgery I have ever seen done." He says, "It's unbelievable what he has been able to do." So after some more time passed, that's the first time I met Dr. Erek Helseth. It was amazing. What he did was amazing. He did show us on his iPhone. He had a picture of before he started. And it was really weird because the screen was mostly white and there was like a black stump coming up. And he's like, "That was her carotid artery." And that's when we found out that's what happened. Her carotid artery had ruptured. So there was no blood flow above it where it branched off. And then he goes, "This is before when I started." And he swiped over and he said, "This is after." And it looked like a tree. You could see the veins and vessels everywhere. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna make a recovery. And a little bit later, we were talking about discharge and the process of getting back a hold of his staff. So I pulled out one of my Butte College business cards and I handed it to him. And I'll never forget, because he was standing there like this, and he was looking at the business card. He kind of smiles, and he goes, "Do you guys want to hear something funny?" And he flicks the card like that. And we both go, "Yeah." He goes, "I went to Butte College." And he had a really cool story, about being homeschooled here in Butte County, and that, as he said, I was homeschooled before homeschooling was cool. And there was no mechanism for him to go to college because there was no records, etc. And so he's like, "I'll go to Butte." I said, "Well, how was it?" He goes, "I loved it." He goes, "I was at Butte for 2 years and absolutely loved it." I'm very proud of the fact that we had a hand in the start of this individual's career. And now that individual is serving our community to make it simple, by literally, how often can you say that? By literally saving lives. So I'd like to personally congratulate you, Dr. Helseth, on this award. And at the same time, I would like to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate everything that you have done for Heather. Thank you.
I was homeschooled back in the late 80s and early 90s, at a time when homeschooling was certainly less common than it is, and there were a lot fewer resources, and it wasn't really as much of a formalized process at the time. I didn't have transcripts, and I didn't take the SAT. Coming from that homeschool environment, I didn't really have a set of expectations about what I could do and what the environment was going to be like. Butte College was actually a really, really good opportunity. They took me in, and with that limited set of information that they had about me, they took me in and basically helped to create something that could transition into a different type of a future from where I was at. I can honestly look back and say it was really the right place at the right time. There's no question in my mind that that was a great place for me to grow up some more. That was a great place for me to start and to develop. If I'd gone to a traditional four-year college that had 35,000 or 40,000 students or something of that nature, I think I would have been lost. Ultimately, after all my residency training and my fellowships, the decision came where to go and what to do with this established career that I have. And I had decided at the time that I wanted to seek a location that didn't have what I could offer, a place that was really underserved. And I looked at the region and I said, this is a place where it's 300 miles to the north to find the next specialist who does what I do, and it's 160 miles south to find the next specialist. When people are having a stroke, it's a very time-dependent process. Injury is occurring to the brain because of a blood vessel problem, and that has to be fixed very rapidly. And if people don't get immediate treatment, then there's a greater likelihood that they're going to have a bad outcome. It was just a great opportunity to come back to the North State, a place where my wife and I grew up, and have that impact. There are scores of people that are back at home that are walking around the North State because this program was opened in 2016. I went from where I was at, went through many, many, many years of training to learn this specialty, and then brought it back to the community. If you're fortunate enough, you end up in a place where you're doing a job you love and you are able to have a big impact and really enjoy your career. Butte College, promising futures start here.